The majority of the interstate system had to be shut down for a week, along with plane and train travel.
During the news, there was a lot of people stuck in airports because they couldn't get to Boston. And I'm pretty sure that the places all over the country, places like Chicago, probably California, all those flights coming into Boston, they knew that they couldn't do it. So there was probably a real major holdup in all the airlines, okay? Trains, buses, whatever.
Because of the high rate at which it fell, the snow could not be removed quickly, causing it to pile up. Giant bulldozers had to be used to plow the snow. A state of emergency was declared in the states affected, and the U.S. National Guard was called up to help clear the snow.
When it became very apparent that it was a very severe storm, then the governor said that there was a state of emergency, and he would get on every single day and talk and tell us what was going on.
The storm caused a heightened sense of camaraderie. Neighbors helped out each other with transportation and supplies.
We all helped each other. I think it brought people closer together. People that, once you did get out and got outside, people were all in the same boat. They were all trying to get out and all talking to each other and couldn't believe that we had as much snow as we did. And everybody helped each other any way that they could.
When we finally got dug out enough to walk out, we went over to a neighbor, and they were completely blocked in. And I remember walking, you could barely walk because it was thigh high at least, and probably in some places even higher than that. But we just felt we had to get into, because they were kind of alone and separate and kind of upset. So we did walk over there.
Well, what happened was, we had a guy who lived next door. His name was John, and when we knew we were stuck and we couldn't go anywhere, we looked out the window and it happened to be a snowmobile. And this guy John came up with the snowmobile, come upstairs, knocked on everyone's door, and asked us all if you people need any shopping of any kind, like a list. He made a list. We gave it to him. He went shopping for us on a snowmobile. Went all to the places with the supermarkets where you couldn't even get into a supermarket, he said, because of the snow. But they were open. And he brought all the groceries back, okay, and he brought them in and he passed them out to everybody. So we never went out without any milk or coffee or food that anybody was short on, because he did it with his snowmobile.
There was a kind of camaraderie about meeting neighbors and chatting about what you had and what you could get and sharing what you had.
A new tradition was born in New England known as the bread and milk runs. At the word of a storm, everyone would hit the supermarkets, leaving the bread and milk shelves empty.
Once people were able to get to the stores, whatever was there was gone very quickly, and there were days and days before they got any more supplies in. So whatever you had in the house was what you had.
When the road cleared somewhat and we could get a path out here, we walked to the supermarket. And there were many people walking to the supermarket, and they were not very well stocked, but enough so that you could get by and for what you had in the house. But it was a week before everything went back to deliveries and people getting fresh supplies. But we did walk, and people were walking and dragging sleds, and then whatever they found in the market, that's how they would get it home.
A lot of people were walking on the streets from the grocery stores, holding bags, and so a lot of people traveled by foot to go there shopping.
After the storm was over, the affected area was paralyzed for over a week. Approximately 10,000 people were forced into shelters. 2,500 houses were damaged. 54 people were killed, and there was $2.3 billion worth of damage.
I remember what a terrible feeling it was to think that you could be so caught like that and have no control over your environment, so that you could move around and get out. It was not a comfortable feeling.
It was just a whole different atmosphere with things that that happened in the storm. It was, I guess it's something that we'll all remember.
Very, very unexpected blizzard. Nobody expected what we saw that day.
The blizzard of 78 would never be forgotten in New England, and would be classified as one of the worst storms to ever hit the area. I'm George Rico. Good night.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out